Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your Scorpio season reading. This is also Pluto, right? We're going to let it come out naturally in the cards. I've decided not to talk about it too much until we need to get into it. But all information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the extended version of this reading. What is that? We get more in depth into the cards and the situations that play out in the first part, especially if they're major arcanas. We get more in depth too, if necessary, for the body parts that are associated with those signs, the planets associated with those signs, the people in your life that may be associated with those signs. So as you can see, there's a lot to get into depending on the house of the sun or the signs that come up. We'll get more in depth into that. It will make more sense if you follow it. There's previews and versions of those out on YouTube, but I don't put them all out, and you get it if you subscribe to my Patreon. And that will be in the first link, below. Just making sure I'm good. Everybody take a deep breath. Not that I'm trying to change your experience, I'm just saying that's what I'm doing. And all information to work with me one-on-one is below. I'm doing a sale for the new moon from the 1st to the 3rd, 25% off all my services. There are 3 different types. You can go on my website, check that out there. You can also find a way to contact me as well. Let's get right into the reading. I'm looking forward to talking with you guys. First card out is Hangman reversed. Whatever has been in your mind, maybe processing, you are now able to digest it and put it out into the world. In this area of your life, Aquarius suns or moons, wherever Aquarius shows up in the rest of your chart, there's a way that you're learning to not only digest and process what has happened from your mind, now it's integrated into your body, or in these places of your life, you have mastered something and now you're offering it to the world. For Aquarius risings, it's the 12th house of mystery accessing the 6th house. So the mystery, the subconscious, all of that's come up, you have had to deal with that for a very long time in Capricorn, back and forth of your attachments, of knowing and not knowing, of redefining yourself, and now bringing that into the 1st house of your identity. So Aquarius risings, your identity is shifting, but you have so much to offer. So that 12th house of there's so much fertile soil there. And so it's coming into the 1st house for the next 20 years. It's really important that you not be so hell-bent on any identity, because more than likely, whatever you're giving to whatever's coming into yourself, this rush of energy that you're feeling may be connecting to. Again, it's for 20 years, but for some of us, depending on your degrees or depending on the placement, depending on who you are, how sensitive you may be, and so on and so forth, that's how you will experience this transit. Again, it's 20 years. It's a very long transit. However, the first motion can be more impactful for some as opposed to others. So as you go through this month, you are going to be able to maybe even communicate very clearly your needs to the people who need to hear it. And you also have a receptivity to you. It's funny because in times of change, and it's different and depending on the change, right? There's some change we can anticipate almost. Like we know some things are going to change and you can almost prepare for it. And then there are changes that are abrupt that you can't really prepare for, that you have to give space to, or you have to make a decision. You have to be able to be flexible. And when we're in a mutable experience, even though you're a fixed sign, we're in a place where things are changing in a fixed way. So whatever you're giving and the energy that you're giving right now into your life, into your relationships, into your emotional attachments, your emotional investments, into yourself, into wherever you find your self-passion, wherever you're maturing in those ways as well, you may have a heightened sense of experience at this time. You may feel overqualified to communicate almost. You may feel like there's so much you want to say and offer the world, and that may become a part of this shift. From the Knight quickly changing to the Cups, whatever you're digesting has been why things have been moving slow. And also, as quick as this realization may come to you, or this digesting of this information may have come to you, or this change of inaction to action, is overcoming or moving on from something that has held you back. That this is the time, this is a fresh start for everyone, especially in that Scorpio area of your life, and this is your career. If you're Aquarius risings, this also affects Aquarius suns to an extent too, depending on your chart, but like amplified in the 10th house of your career and your public role. You can feel and maybe even sense the change that you're going through. You can even maybe even see it. And the way that I mean that is that you can witness it in other people's eyes, that you, even if it was about the way you've been experiencing yourself, that's also getting a shift along with this, right? So that partially the way you've perceived others to perceive you was one way, and now you have this experience of really seeing people through your eyes. You're just noticing it, and you can see how they're even treating you different because you feel different and you are different. Now, this will also give you great awareness of people who are trying to fuck you over, for lack of a better word, or not for your best interest, Aquarius. And that's that Knight of Pentacles also coming up and saying, I'm hearing this. If there's something that seems to be too good to be true, maybe it is. And what happens when you acknowledge this and move on is that the shift, so Venus is now in Sagittarius. Where would Sagittarius be for you? That would be the 11th house. So we have the 10, 11, 12, 1 that we're talking a lot about. Okay, so again, this is for Aquarius risings, but also this could be for any of you as well. Processing emotions, not just Aquarius rising. So you may notice that this change may change the way that you are in community. It may change your community, may shift completely. The way that you are valued, or the lack thereof, will make you move on, make you find something new. It's also teaching you something about attachment and how you're whatever you're emotionally attached to at this time and that you are very confident about, it's time to also set that free, which means trying something new, going somewhere new, entering a community. Maybe you're entering a community that has helped you balance or come to a mental and emotional, I want to say sattvic, but that just means like a very neutral, balanced place. You could also be balancing this. This awareness within yourself has also helped you realize maybe where you've allowed too much time to be invested in, maybe thinking about a person or a specific situation that you had thought maybe was going to produce more money than it did. And when you allow yourself to engage with this or be free of this, there is an opening that happens. There's more abundance that can come. There's attachment in a way that is actually helpful and productive for you. This also may be you wanting to work with someone else, work with someone else at this time. This may be a project that is long, the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight, Ace, 9 of Cups, and then the Temperance is also saying that there could be a long-term project. You could be solidifying while Venus is still in Sagittarius. This is a very intuitive move for you. However, it makes sense based off of the emotional maturity that you've gained at this time. Things are balancing out. So, of course, there will be moments where you feel stuck throughout the course of this time, but Pluto working through you there's like some downtime. I mean, sometimes things will feel like they last forever, especially those last few years. You feel like, okay, over and over and over again, we hear this story. So what I'm about to say is about this month. This is the Libra card, but it's also obviously the Justice card. This is about something coming, you getting an answer about something. It doesn't have to be external either. This could be about where we've talked about you being in a place where you can either receive this from someone else, this Libra could be me, or it could be someone in your life or some way of clearing up debt, revealing to you that you may not have realized how stuck you have been financially until now, until you've seen the other side. Temperance to Justice, there is a extreme matureness in the situation. Your financial future and building it. This is helping you move beyond a glass ceiling, even for some of you who have if you've put yourself there. This is also the way that the emotions that have been stuck have allowed yourself to think about what's possible for your financial future and what you see for that. And now being able to work with someone or work in this way, we're able to be securely emotionally attached, yet also thinking and expanding beyond where you are now. There's a type of neutrality in your emotions that you need to have, balancing, where you need to be able to be disciplined to that. And through that plan and through this, you may not realize that just this, what seems like a small step, is actually healing. And we feel that we can feel this as humans energetically. This could be that you now have an answer to something that you've been wondering for a while, and you didn't realize that this particular action step, whether it's a conversation or you've been offered money to invest, or it's just some type of validation that you've needed. You're gonna get it. Okay. Look at this. You're gonna get it. This is that Pluto. Wasn't even thinking about it. Yep. So now the pentacles are showing up. Attachments, control. Saturn's also going direct the same day as the full moon, few days before Pluto finally stations into Aquarius. So if there's things that you want to communicate about money, also Venus is entering Capricorn on the 11th. Again, we're going to get all that into that in the second part, but I'm just saying all the things now. This may be time to invest wisely and listen to yourself as opposed to outside forces. And also this may be a good time, like we talked about last month, putting your money where your mouth is and not so much trying to direct others. This is about, that true Aquarian age, is that whatever you put into yourself is going to extend out to others. It will transform each other's lives. We're not in that phase of age of Capricorn where I tell you what to do, only my way works, blah, blah, blah. This is you engaging with your future tenfold. Whatever you're being provoked by is simply just that. You might just be being provoked, and what you need to do is decide what you're truly committing to. Where is is that validation that you're still seeking, or are you secure enough within yourself to realize that the investment of your energy into what you're building long term, instead of engaging with conversations that are very different in opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if you're just not open to it, don't feed the conversation. Again, be willing to be receptive at points this month. I would also say that the way that you are shifting maybe your mentality about money, about travel, about your integrity, your morals, what you believe in the way that is working with and coming through your subconscious, whatever's being opened up there, is being also, this is also saying that it's not being communicated through people, it's being communicated through your attachments. What do you need to look over? Mercury retrograde will then come at the end of the month. What do you need to look over? What do you need to renegotiate? That could be in your relationship as well. Mars will enter at the end of the month. This is for Sagittarius season, so this is a little preview because you have Sag in here too. Is that you will need to come at some point this month to a common ground, to a compromise with someone in your life, because it is about your attachment. It could have come from wherever Saturn is, wherever Pisces is in your chart. Aquarius rising, that's your second house of money. You're scared of maybe losing money, but truly committing will actually bring you more of what you're scared of losing. Truly committing will actually bring you more of what you're scared of losing. If you continue with the fear, you actually may lose that thing. You may still get what you want in the long run, but it's not the same when you don't have, maybe it's that person in your life, right? Mars is in your house of partnership for Aquarius risings. For other Aquariuses, this is going to be expression, very bold. This is like what you need, not being afraid to speak your mind, maybe being the center of attention at some times, which is also maybe releasing, if it's from your partner that you want all of this attention, it could be that you're learning to receive it in other places as well. There's nothing wrong with that, but in the inverse, if you don't get it, how do you act? Maybe you need to also find another place, especially if your partner at this time is now investing their energy in other areas and they can't always give to you. And so basically your partnership may be entering a different evolution of itself, and it's like, what are you needing? What are you both needing to commit to each other? How can you create more security? How can you create, for the long run especially. This is also about the long run. So you've been communicated to in all of these ways and forms of death, and you've come to terms with something that may not have been easy to come to terms with last month. What you may renegotiating, what you're committing to, is being able to not have a black and white answer. Where it is that has had power over you, and now you've learned to take your power back. Learning not to be surprised, but learning from the things that you couldn't see, that you can't see everything, right? So that's just a precursor to what Pluto is going to bring you through in your identity, is just like, even for sun signs, whatever your career looks like now, that will evolve too. If you're meant to be seen, you're going to be seen, for positive or worse, but you've been preparing for that. If you're worried about being liked, or if that has come up and you're just like, usually I don't care about this, why is this happening so much? Could be the people you're surrounding yourself with, don't get me wrong. So it's really important to protect yourself. Where do you work? If you're around a lot of people who you find to be insecure, protect yourself. They could be entering your thoughts. It's, you know it's all real. And it's preparing you for the change you're gonna go through, about being seen, the connections, making money, inventing something, trying out the belief that you have, putting it all into action and trusting the process, right? Like, that's a huge thing in itself, Aquarius. I look forward to your rising. I look forward to whatever it is that you're going to be evolving in this life. We're going to be looking at you. We're going to be loving you. You've been through a hard time. There's a lot of change that's happened, a lot of emotional lifting as well. And just trust that. What I hope you can take from this reading is that you trust that your emotions are extremely intuitive in guiding you, and at the same time, they're needing expression. And you're needing to find a way to express the things that you love with, if other people aren't listening, maybe it's time that you make some fucking money off of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be, you might make money in many different ways. Okay? Don't be held down to anything right now. Be all the things you want to be in the next 20 years. Okay? And let yourself be transformed by the process. That was what I was told. Let Pluto work on you. Let Pluto work on you. There's so much more I'm excited to get into about this. I will say that if those of you dealing with a Virgo, you see them transform behind your eyes, before your eyes, maybe behind the scenes, and allowing for this brings an even stronger, quicker, closer connection where you may be building something together, planning something together, looking to the future, finding emotional stability and financial stability with one another, and having that plan for the future, and how much that has helped, while also acknowledging the hardships and being able to be there in a way that is now changing the direction of both of your futures, or maybe allowing for you to work with someone else. This security helps. And it's possible that a part of this was both of you needing to learn through a false belief system that you had in place to protect you at some point, but you're both learning to digest this and do this together and find that compromise. It seems like you do, and maybe you both realize how much acting this way has actually kept you stuck. And you know what? Call it an experiment. Call it an experiment if you need to. Just say, let's experiment. Let's try this. See if it works and see what happens. You know? You know what I'm saying? Any contracts, look over. End of the month. Look over everything. It's Mercury retrograde. I think that's why you're preparing, because something really big and good is coming your way, and things are going to start developing. And not that the money changes you, but don't let the money change you. If that's what's gonna change you, you know what I'm saying? But power, right? So power dynamics also. That will change as well, especially in your work life. You'll feel some relief, and then the change that you wanted for this is for specific for some of you. The change that you wanted is going to come. At the moment, you just feel relief, and you're just like, oh, fuck it, and you're just like, everything's fine. I'd be happy where I am. All of a sudden, like, the best thing comes in front of your face, and you are off. It may not be this month for some of you, and again, this is for a specific few, but I would just notice. Come back to this in a month, you know? I do that. It's helpful. All right, all information to work with me one-on-one is below. We'll get into the second part of your reading, Aquarius. I'm excited for you, for this Phoenix era that you're in, for this countdown. We're getting there. We're not 20 days away yet. This will come out the day of the new moon. A new era, a new time, a new opening. Expression. It's time. It's your era. You know? I would just like start singing if whatever. So we'll get into everything below. All information to work with me is there. I'm on Instagram. Yeah, I hope you have a great Scorpio, amazing Scorpio season. Great is whatever. Fabulous, stellar. I hope you have a stellar Scorpio season. I hope it's life-changing in the best ways possible. And we'll see you soon, Aquarius. Thank you for being here.